President Biden released his proposed budget today. He says it's going to help working families, of course.
By the way, the things I'm proposing not only lift the burden off of families in America, it's also going to generate economic growth. The point is that every time I talk about things, people talk about it like this is an overwhelming burden on the taxpayer. It's going to save money for the taxpayers. No, it really does. Save money for the taxpayers and generate growth. That's how the economy grows.
Here to try and make sense of that, Florida Congressman Byron Donalds, he's on the House Financial Services Committee, actually worked in a real job, no offense, Congressman, and was a financial advisor. So please make sense of what the president said or is doing to this country.
Honestly, there's no making sense of what he's saying because it is economically illiterate. The president is just going back to the old dogma from the left of raising taxes after you've blown out the spending and you have to try to do something. But his tax increases will be a disaster for the economy. Look, raising the capital gains rate to 39.6, you might as well just tell everybody to stop investing and stop taking gains off the table. That's number one. Number two, raising the corporate rate back to 28% would make us significantly less competitive across the globe. It would actually diminish our ability to grow economically. And at the end of the day, here's what the American people need to understand. All tax policy is about getting the necessary dollars for the government. It's all based upon a percentage of our economy. So what I try to tell the Democrats all the time is you want a growing economy with the right tax policy, like the Tax Cut and Jobs Act, because that was the first time in American history where the federal government was getting 20% of GDP in tax revenue. We were getting more tax dollars than at any other time ever seen before, and Joe Biden wants to go back to terrible tax policy we already know doesn't work.
Congressman, you mentioned the corporate tax rate going from 21% to 28%. And I think all three of us would agree that is horrible policy. But if you look at corporate America, a vast majority of them, who do they support? They supported Joe Biden. Maybe on one issue, you give them what they want, higher taxes.
Well, look, here's what I'm going to say to corporate America, and I'm going to be straight. Corporate America loves Democrat policy. Why? Because it creates a barrier to entry for smaller companies to be able to grow to the size that they are. So if you're a corporation, they frankly don't care one way or the other as long as they stop other companies from reaching their size. I'm not interested in what corporate America wants. I'm interested in what's going to have the American economy thrive and, as a byproduct of a thriving country, provide tax revenue to the government to do the things that it's supposed to do and no more.
Good answer.
Real quickly, Congressman, will you be able to deal with the debt ceiling? Toot sweet.
Yeah, we're going to be able to deal with it. Look, there's a lot of proposals between Republican members right now about where you find savings, where you find cuts. The one thing that's very, very clear, House Republicans are committed to getting spending under control. It's basically saying, look, we went through the pandemic. We spent a ton of money. Everybody gets it. We got to get back to pre-pandemic spending levels, pre-COVID-19 levels. That makes sense to so many people because inflation is caused by massive overspending, which is hurting all families in our country. We got to tighten our belts a little bit. It's not going to cause the American people pain, but it's going to cause the bureaucrats on Capitol Hill to actually get their minds right about the new reality in America.
Congressman Byron Donalds, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it.
Anytime.